Hey, welcome, Fright Nights and Monster Girls. It is I, Count Jackula, your favorite satanic streamer, here once again for, what's this thing again?
I think it's...
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
Wait,
who the fuck? John, what the fuck's going on? Who the fuck took over our show? What the fuck's happening here?
Okay.
Who's on our show? This is our show, right? Right? No, we're just kidding, everybody. Welcome back to the Anarchy Arena podcast, excuse me, where we have episode 30 here, and we have two of our most favorite and beloved guests here on the show. Some of you might think they are diametrically opposed, but we're about to find out that that's simply not the case. We have everyone's favorite wholesome streamer on the interwebs, Miss Guiltless Gaming, aka Vic. Hello, Vic.
Hello.
And we have everyone's favorite satanic uncle on the other side, none other than Count Jackula.
Count Jackula. Hey, how are you doing? And when you said diametrically opposed, I was like, girl? I mean, is that... I was like, what? Yeah.
Satanist? Wholesome. But really, you're both wholesome in your own ways, aren't you?
We're all just wholesome deep down, aren't we?
Way deep down.
John, way deep down.
So
I'm talking about myself, of course. Anyway.
So the reason why we wanted to record this episode is these are two streamers I watch the most consistently, which explains a lot about my fucked up psyche.
No.
Like, I'm like, oh, it's like I
John.
switch between
John.
yes,
Come
Satan?
for your daughter, Chuck.
Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
when you have your nightmare-fueled dreams, John, is it Jack's voice you hear in the back of your head?
That's the wet dreams, my man.
Oh, good answer.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, no, that's me. I show up and narrate everything. Greetings, Fright Nights and Monster Girls, and welcome to John the Joker's wet dream. As you see, the upside-down naked panda bear is in the corner, as per usual. And...
I can't explain that one, to be honest with you. I tried.
I'm literally seeing in my head John standing in the middle of a giant field, and on one shoulder is Jack dressed in all black, and on the other shoulder is Vic dressed in all white. This is what I'm seeing in my head right now.
It's kind of how that is, because it's the way I describe it is like, imagine if without the negative connotations, I have like the lead singer of Mayhem as one friend, and like fucking shit. God damn it.
The lead singer of ABBA?
No, not ABBA. Mayhem. Well, no, like
The other side.
The other side is Betty Crocker. Like, one person's like, you can do it if you just believe in yourself, and the other side's like, yeah, but you need some gasoline first.
But remember, only you are in the kitchen.
Yeah. So this.
Okay.
Oh, Vic,
Vic's like, wait, guys, I just used gasoline to make banana bread.
Yeah,
Don't
it's
shit on
like-
me like that.
It's like, wait a second. I can be diabolical too.
Oh, can
Of course you can, dear. Whee!
Hey, Satan loves everybody, whether you're nice or not.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. We hate everybody equally here. It's fine. It's fine.
But we also love them equally.
Yeah. You know, I mean, yeah. One's about. Yeah, I got nothing.
All right, cool.
Great comeback, Jack. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm on it. I'm on it.
So
Total A games all around.
Yeah.
right, we're all on fucking point.
Right?
This is kind of our cursed episode, though, if I'm gonna be honest, because we've been trying to book this for like a month, and as the person who's like been the in between of like between both Jack and Vic, it's like, hey, are you available at this time? Yeah, I'm available at this time. Okay, let me see if Jack's available. Jack's snoring, ass up in the air, like dead because he just went to sleep.
Yep.
Well, I guess we're not doing it this week. And then I like hit you up, and then it's like, oh, well, I have like things planned, and I have to like leave in like 30 minutes. And I'm like, well, all right.
Hey now, time zones.
I know. Like,
That
you know,
too.
trust
That
me.
too.
That was the biggest barrier of entry. It's like, when can I do this where it's feasible for not only Vic, but I can guarantee Jack may be conscious. Like, and trust me, that's some black magic fuckery that went on to that.
I can still smell the incense burning from his room where he had to conjure you.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Don't worry,
yeah.
it was a shitty gas station one. So
It is. No, this is
We
not
should have
shit.
just.
What? Oh wait. You talking about your incense or mine? I'm like, no. Mine comes from the fucking hippie shop up on Haight Street. I got like little gold kernels that melt on top of a charcoal on fire, and it is excellent. No, that gas station shit here. You know, come on.
Premium
That was
incense
the
only.
Oh,
about to
yeah.
say that was the sexiest incense commercial I've ever heard.
my dick is
I'm
hard.
desperate for some incense. You should.
But the reason why I want to get both Vic and Jack together is because I hold this belief that in this world there's a lot of things that people think divide us, and that you can't associate with certain people because of certain things, like, you know, Jack's an out Satanist and very very much about the dark side. Vic is very very wholesome. Like, I would love to say that Vic has a dark side. I don't think it really exists.
Okay.
But I know that both of these people
She
have-
laughs knowingly, you know.
Her dark side is doing California
I'm
rolls
like,
through stop signs on
perfect.
occasion.
Oh, Vic, do you have a story to tell? Like, about your diabolicalness? Like, what?
You know what?
you-
Later. Later.
Oh.
That's not for public consumption, apparently.
Oh no, we gonna bring it out to light.
I mean, it's like, am I teasing or am I not? You'll never know.
Well, that is a little bit diabolical. I think that does count, right, Jack? Like, teasing that you have a dark side and not actually having one. That's like having a dark side, right?
That's a little diabolical. That's like a 1 on the Diablo scale.
That's the one.
There is a Diablo skill. I read the book.
Yeah.
But they're also both streamers, and I figured they could. That's one thing they can actually sort of connect on. They both make content. They're both artists. And I just find it interesting that I don't know why the hell I connect you two. Do you think, just, you know, I mean, this is kind of the first time you guys have met, but do you think there might be some type of connection between you two that, like, maybe the bike gain and the slut pit could find, like, reach across and grab hands across the aisle and say, you know what, we're both great communities of caring people.
Well, that's always entirely possible.
Mm-hmm. I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Like,
We're all just people.
Yeah.
I mean, we are, and we're very diverse people too. Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, slut pit
All right,
is-
good show. That's it.
All right,
All right,
10
episode's
minutes.
done. Man, this was great.
Yeah, we can reach a crowd. We can shake hands. We can respect each other. Perfect.
I just, you know, a question I want to ask both of you, since you're both streamers. I mean, I kind of am too, but I'm on a much smaller scale. What do you find to be some of the biggest obstacles in streaming, either personally or externally? We'll start with Jack, and then we'll go to Vic.
What are some of the personal hurdles?
Like what's some of the things about streaming that, like, you wish you could get rid of, and it would make the experience so much better?
Oh man. I wish I could be like, personally, I wish that I was a faster talker.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's not what I expected.
Yeah, I wish that I was able to just, like, continuously come up with really, like, snappy dialogue and, like, comebacks and one-liners and things like that. Even though because I actually have no idea whether I'm good at that or not, because it's really hard. The audience feedback is better than when you're doing a YouTube video, but it's not that immediate. Oh, okay, that one worked. or, oh, whoa, that one just bombed. Okay. I can't read anybody's face in the audience when I'm streaming. And that can be a problem because you don't always know when the jokes are landing.
I can appreciate that.
I think it would be the opposite though. Like, I figure with YouTube, you wouldn't know if a joke lands until the video is out. But with streaming, I figure like you get instant feedback. I don't know. That's an interesting way to put that.
Yeah. Well, the thing is when you're doing a YouTube video, sorry to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
When you're doing a YouTube video and you're editing it, you have an idea of whether it's landing or not because you're watching yourself. You're watching yourself with a similar eye as an audience would.
That's okay. Now that makes sense. Vic, what would be something you'd wish you could get over? Sorry, Chris, I keep interrupting you.
You're fine.
Do you need to say something?
Just kind of here. I'm just kind of here. It's okay, guys. I'll just hit the record button and stuff. That's all I'm here for. Goddammit.
You can say something before I do. It's okay. Do you have something? Do you need to say?
No. What I was going to say was I can kind of see where he's coming from because if you're streaming and there is a little bit of delay between you and the chat, and it's not like I feel like the equivalency you're trying to make in your head is a kind of stand up almost like when you're doing something on stage like that, you get facial reactions before you get a vocal reaction, so you can see what's hitting and what's not. With streaming, you don't have that added emotive thing happening where you can see before they laugh or before they react if it's landing or not. You have to wait that 2 to 5 seconds for the chat to hit or for the chat to go nuts for 10 minutes straight to know whether or not something hit, or to watch it be dead for 10 straight minutes because it didn't hit. So I can kind of see where you're coming from.
10 minutes? Oh my God. Like that would be complete death. Like a joke can die in like 5 if you do it wrong. 5 seconds if you do it wrong.
You never watched me when I was streaming.
Oh
yeah. Chris
and
had
apparently there's a reason. No, I'm just kidding.
I had very, very small streams.
Vic, what would be something you think that is a hurdle that you have to go over every time you press that start stream button?
Well, I mean, there's definitely something I appreciate in what Jack is saying, because absolutely, I wish sometimes I was a lot quicker on my feet, especially when you get people coming in who are coming in intentionally to kind of stir the pot, and I wish sometimes I had a quicker, snappier comeback, something a little more wisecracky. Sometimes I just feel like I fall flat. Being able to think that quick on your feet, I wish I could. It's definitely something I wish I could be better at.
Yeah.
Otherwise, honestly, I'm sure there's a bunch of things. And I'm sure this is true for all creative endeavors, any sort of artistry. The imposter syndrome.
Oh my God.
That hits hard in the streaming environment.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with that.
Oh, I have no idea what I'm doing. Yeah.
Or even
I don't know
worse,
what I'm doing.
I have
Why
no
am
place
I here?
doing this.
Yeah, how am I even doing this next to any of these other people? Yeah, like what is my business here?
Oh yeah.
See, that's the one thing I have to deal with when I hit that start streamer. It's like, all right, well, we're gonna find out whether people like me or not, and I'll be honest with you. Some nights it's good, some nights it's bad. That's the reason why I love being in y'all's stream, is because if anything, I'm really quick on my feet. I feel like I have a quip ready for any given moment. So when you can't think of it, usually I can, and I unload pretty quickly, ladies. But I agree, like that imposter syndrome. Holy, like I wish people who are like, oh, streaming's so easy. I want them to stream for a week straight and tell me how easy it actually is. I mean, hell, just making a podcast sometimes, like, you're feeling like, why the fuck are we doing this? Like, nobody gives a shit about what we say, but you find out, like, through your audience, and I would say that especially with Jack and Vic, like you find out that no, your audience actually likes you, and that audience will support you no matter what. So as far as like the imposter syndrome for you guys, I feel like I understand where it's coming from, but you have to have in the back of your mind, like, no, people do find me funny, or they do find my content enjoyable. So if I only reach these like 30, 40 people, and occasionally someone else will come in, as long as I have that core audience of 30 to 40 people, it's going to be that's the goal. Reach out to your core audience first, and then eventually maybe some outliers will come in.
Yeah, like basically the idea that you're going to be hitting your marks 9 times out of 10, but because you're doing it so frequently, that 10th time is going to, that where it doesn't work is going to be like once every 10 days, And so that can feel really, really frustrating because you're like, oh God. But sometimes what it really means is like, don't stream on Friday because you're not on your game on Friday, like that kind of jazz. But yeah, like, geez.
Oh, that's okay. So I have, and Chris, we'll get to yours in a minute, but I have one thing I won't do on stream, and it's literally a piece of clothing I won't wear on streams because every time I wear it on stream, it's a bad stream. I have a Bob Ross shirt. I try to draw the energy of Bob Ross into me every time I wear it on stream, and every time I wear it, it's a bad stream. So I was like, nope, that's
well, yeah, because that's not the John the Joker brand. Like, Bob Ross is real like, hey, how you doing? Everything good? Okay, good. Have a happy little tree. Hey, whatever's going on in your life, just remember.
Meanwhile, John's like, what's up, motherfuckers?
Yeah.
Game!
I'm like, what the fuck is going on in this game?
Just mixing those two energies, they just don't want to mix,
Well, okay. Well, we'll nix the John and Vic stream together off the list.
Actually, I would legitimately buy tickets to that. I want the two of you to play Portal co-op together. I think that would be the most hilarious stream on the planet. Here's Vic solemnly, quietly trying to solve puzzles, and John's like, "No, not over there! What are you doing?" That's totally not what he did to me.
Like, John, please, no, just John. Just look.
Vic,
John. No, we just need to look around the room, John, calm down, John.
No, I can't come down from this energy, and you know it.
Oh my God,
that's
John,
exactly how it would go, right there.
Hear you talk like that, saying Vic, you sound like a wrestling promoter. Like,
he always sounds like a wrestling promoter.
Like even at protests, I sound like a wrestling promoter. So,
yeah, that's a thing that happened.
Wait,
God. We'll post the video on the podcast Twitter of the
of John's
Jesse literally just came in to check and make sure everything's all right.
Why are you screaming? What's going wrong?
What's up? We are.
We are.
All right, love you, babe. Anyways, but
doing internet, babe. Serious business.
Yeah, serious business. We're talking about dick jokes and farts.
Yeah.
Chris, what was the thing you wanted to talk about?
So I kind of wanted to build off something you were going with earlier. So I'm curious about this, and I'm going to start with Vic and then go to Jack to kind of flip how we did before. Do you think both of you come into your streams, and Jack, in your case, also your YouTube videos, with a certain expectation based on your branding or your image? Like Vic, for instance, do you think people come into your stream with a certain expectation because of the shitty girl streamers that are out there? And Jack, do you think that people come into your videos and your stream with a certain expectation because of your quote unquote darker branding? I'm curious what you feel about those expectations and how you combat them and go, no, this is me, motherfuckers. I want to know how you deal with that, both of you. So Vic?
I don't think so. I mean, you more often than not, 90% of the time, you end up in MySpace and people very quickly see the bike. I mean, it's highlighted quite well, right? So I feel like immediately people kind of understand, like, oh, wait, like what's going on here? So I don't feel like people. I just don't feel like there's an energy there that people are coming in with sort of any expectations, because I think maybe also they throwing them off, like catching them off guard is a little bit strong, but like I think people come in, they're like, oh wait, like what's this bike about? And it just kind of starts a whole other conversation. So I mean, I guess I would say no.
I could tell you for a fact that yes, we do come in with expectations.
I mean, it's hard for me to speak for anybody else, right? So I mean, I don't feel like there's.
Well, so have you seen it happen, though, where someone comes into chat with an expectation of you being that atypical Twitch girl and then going, oh, wait, that's not what's happening, and either being a dick or then all of a sudden going, oh, never mind, I'm totally okay with this?
I mean, I guess it depends on how do those. I guess, how do you see those people behaving? I guess. I mean, yes, people come in and they're complimentary and you know, they're flattering me and stuff, but like, is that what you would expect people to come in doing? I guess I just don't. I don't know.
I mean, John, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's kind of the stigma of the girl Twitch streamer. And I guess that's what I'm getting at. Do people come in expecting, you know, that?
As a mod and a man, watching Vic, I can see like, oh, this person's real thirsty and they're trying to play like, oh, streamer's my girlfriend, stuff, which, you know, whatever. Vic is very, I wouldn't say naive, but she definitely doesn't steer the conversation that way.
Right.
So like someone will come in and be thirsty and Vic's like, thank you. And then goes on about her fucking day. And I'm sitting there like, you better not say it. You better not say some creepy shit. I swear to God. Like,
motherfucking banhammer.
Which I guess makes me a little bit of a white knight, but fuck it. There have been times where I've been in,
like we're not gonna fuel those possible conversations, or fuel that kind of behavior, I guess. Yeah, like no, it's we're all here just to enjoy each other's company and have fun. I don't know. I don't know if I'm answering this in any way that you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why she is the most wholesome streamer on the interwebs, because she looks at thirsty, simp boys and goes, they're just being sweet. It's no big deal.
Well, I have to say, I wouldn't have had any expectations of anything else, because none of the signals of the stuff that you might be talking about there is in evidence in any of Guiltless Gaming, any of her thumbnails. Like when you're thinking of like what a lot of people call the e-thought,
which
what
we like the e-thought.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. You're thinking of a girl in a very like low cut blouse, maybe a little too much makeup on, like that kind of jazz. Which once again, no, don't stop e-hoing, all you out there. Look, I need something. Sometimes I need something to have on a weekend when nothing else is going on. The Rona is fucking driving me fucking crazy. Don't take the cleavage away. I'll get really upset.
At least he's honest about it, folks.
But no, none of those. There was no way I would come to Guiltless Gaming and be like, oh, it's one of those. I would actually have assumed it was a little bit closer to what Rora Pickles does.
Aww.
Yeah, because, even though how to put it? Obviously, both Vic and Rora are, attractive, but that's not the trading coin, so to speak.
Right. Like Vic, you are a very attractive lady. And not to make it awkward, you hot? No.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. Now the interview's over. But like that's not your selling point. Like if anything, you're adorkable. That's what I appreciate about you. It's like, oh, she doesn't get it. Like she'll say some shit, and I'm like, oh god, my horrible, deviant
Depraved
brain. Yeah, just like, oh, just made that all so bad.
But I'm sure we've addressed that in previous conversations we've had on this show, where I'm like, I'll say it, and I immediately understand what I've said, but I try and gloss over the fact that that's how it sounds.
And then here I come, like, oh, really?
You call it out, yeah. I just try and keep going, try to push that one under the rug. I'm like, I understand how that sounds, and then John's like, oh, Vic.
I reach under the rug and like shove it in everybody's face, like.
Oh yeah, because if life handed out merit badges, John, you would have about 5 or 6 as premium shit stirrer.
Yes, I would. Which was thanks to Jack. Jack, like, do you feel like your audience comes out with a preconceived notion about what your content is, and do you feel like that's a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, there are some times when I think that my out and out Satanism might be harming me professionally, but because people do have an expectation of when that stuff that happens. We speak well, we know words. So what I'm saying is, hail Satan, and more importantly, I think that when you announce yourself as everyone's favorite satanic streamer, the audience kind of filters itself. Anyone who's going to have a real problem with that is going to come nowhere close to that stuff. And sometimes I wish that I were playing more into it. I wish, like, I sometimes think about literally getting like a shitty devil costume and wearing that like Anton LaVey style.
Like the
just
kid
coming
from
on,
Problem
just be
Child?
like, yes, hello, welcome. Let us give thanks to our Lord Satan. And just really fucking playing it up. Now, granted, one of the problems is the audience that I built would be like, what are you doing?
Come on, dude.
Come on, man. Like, what are you doing? But like, I'd get a giggle, so that might happen once or twice, but I don't know about a regular thing.
I don't know. I think if you did it over the top and super satirical, it would probably be hilarious.
Yeah, hopefully. But that's the only other time it never really becomes a problem, because I'm so used to the types of comments that people will sling at you being in that position. And I spent a great deal of time watching Guar deal with being on like the Ricky Lake show and shit. And
Guar. That's one of your favorite bands, right, Vic?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dave Rocky was amazing. And the way he handled interviews was to just never let them know what hole that he was going to jump out of. Womp womp. And giggity. Yeah. And he always managed to do so, keep the audience on their toes, while also playing in to his whole, I'm an alien barbarian from outer space with a fucking 2-foot dong. Like, so I was always in awe of that man for his ability to do that.
Right. Yeah, and like I said with Vic, I've been in your streams, I've seen the comments, and it's like, guys, you're not going to troll him into an argument about whether or not he believes in God or whether he truly believes in hell. And, you can't throw scripture at him because he's also read your book. That's the reason why he's a Satanist.
Yeah. I grew up a conservative Baptist Christian. And then for some reason, we became Catholic.
Why not?
That's a hard left turn.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
not? And so I'm very, very familiar with the way that those two worlds work, and they're definitely a lot more similar than they are different. But there are critical differences.
Yeah, like ceremony.
The ceremonies are very different. Yeah.
There's a lot of standing, kneeling in Catholics, and then in evangelical, there's a lot of standing, running, dancing in circles.
I just got the frightening image in my head of Jack with like perfectly slicked over head and a button-up shirt all the way to the neck with the collar perfectly pressed, and it mildly frightened me.
Well, that was actually one gimmick I was considering at some point, you know, like come on and be like, hello, let's talk about our Lord beneath our feet. Hail Satan, everybody. Welcome to Channel 666 in the Satan Network.
Oh my God, please do that. Please. I want to see that series. I want it scripted. I want that show. Do that. You heard it here first. It's happening now, ladies and gentlemen. You're in on the ground floor.
See, now I'm thinking about like doing a Satanic Cinema episode where fucking Satanic Jack I say fuck a lot. I casually swear like a motherfucker. You know?
It's fucking okay.
Yeah. Doing
if
it as if I was
brand
like,
to cover, you know?
Yeah, as if I had a weird satanic Mr. Rogers persona. I was like, won't you be my neighbor in hell?
Yes.
Easter is bullshit.
Easter is bullshit. Yeah.
But yeah, like, you know, content creation it's a wild fucking, it's the Wild West. You don't know what you're going to get until you put your stuff out there. And yeah, I'm just curious as to, one thing I think that both of you can give sort of similar answers on is, do you feel like you put on a little bit of an act? Do you feel like the person that's on camera, while it may be like 95% you, do you feel like you turn it up or turn it down when you're on stream? And we'll start with Vic and then we'll go to Jack for that one.
I think generally speaking, you have to tweak yourself a little bit.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, you are still putting on a show in a way. You're not going out there and being disingenuous, but yeah, you have to take your personality and enhance it a little bit. I mean, there's even just rules in film of like, you have to, it's the same thing with makeup. It's the same thing with your behavior, the way you speak. For the camera to pick up your makeup, it has to be a little bit darker and heavier. Like you can't be just the light, you know, window lit makeup, nice and it has to be a little bit darker for the camera to see it. Same thing with your personality. You have to kind of punch it up a little bit in order for it to be perceived the way you want it to be perceived. So yeah, there's a little bit. I mean, if I just sat down at my desk and was like, "Hi, how's it going?" I mean, you wouldn't want to watch that anyway. So
yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of streamers that do that, and like they ask me like, "How do I grow my audience?" And I'm like, "You need to be a lot more entertaining." I don't know the nice way to put that, but you know, if you're sitting there and you're like, "I only have like 2 people in my stream," it's like, yeah, but what are you doing? Are you engaging with your stream, or are you literally just playing a video game? Because if you're literally just playing a video game, there's people that will watch you, but you need to be great at that, whatever you're playing.
Yeah, it all depends on what you're going out there with, right? What is your goal? What is your mission with what you're doing? If you're a pro player and you've got all the tricks up your sleeve and people are going to want to watch you for your technique, then yeah, of course you need to focus on the game and be less, you know, maybe engaging with chat or whatever, for sure, because that's what your thing is and that's what you're offering. But other people are going to offer more of a community connection. People are going to offer more ridiculous show antics. Like it all just depends on what you're going out there with.
I thought she was going to say ridiculous shit. I was going to get real hype.
God, I could almost feel the giant grin on his face there for a second.
I was like, "Oh yes, I did it! I finally did it!" No,
Yeah, I have to absolutely agree with Vic. But I have to absolutely agree with Vic. The biggest issue is sometimes I feel like the person I am on stream is way a little too close to who I am. Not because I have a problem with sharing that, but I fear it's not that interesting. You know, I would
disagree with that.
Well, thank you. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that, but I worry about that sometimes. It's weird because, okay, what does Jack normally do on a given day? All right, so he'll work a little bit on whatever project that he's working on, look at some porn, jack off, nap for 10 minutes, get back to work. You know, like it's not super fucking, it's not as interesting. My life is not as interesting as it was back in the day.
Right.
That being like when I was in my 20s.
Yeah, but you've gotten older. Like
that's
just the way it happens. As you get older, like you do less crazy shit.
Yeah, you do it less frequently.
Yeah, like it's more of an occasion when you do it instead of like when you were 20 where it was every day.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I don't feel
Vic, you can agree,
overwhelming
right? Like,
burning need
absolutely.
to like drop acid every day or something like that, you know. You know, once a week or a couple times a month will be fine.
Yeah, like that's something I feel like people who watch streamers need to understand. Like when they're on stream, yeah, they may be the most interesting person you've seen, but off stream, usually it's a very boring ass life.
Yeah, one thing that did help me though when I'm doing games, one of the things that helps is that I try to find games that I would enjoy showing to the Countess, because when my wife, because when I find one of those, that's what I tend to do the funny voices and stuff.
Well, that kind of leads into my other question. Because I know Jack doesn't usually play video games on his stream. He's more of a talk show guy.
Yep.
But do you pick specific games, like whether they're trending, or do you pick them because, I think this is more what I would enjoy playing and what would be what I think I would get my best content out of. And I could go with any type of media. Like, do you talk about movies or music that you think would be like, oh, that's my brand, and I'm going to talk about that because people will really care about my opinion on that? Or do you try to trend chase? And do you think that trend chasing is a really bad idea? And anyone can answer that.
I know for me, I try and find the balance of something I genuinely want to play, because I mean, right there, if I'm interested in it, I'm going to project that energy. If I'm playing something I hate, you feel it. You're not having as much fun, and you're kind of forcing it a little bit. So I was trying to find the balance of something I genuinely want to play. It's been something I've been thinking about, or it's new, or whatever, it doesn't matter. But something that's not necessarily a dead category either. Something that I know maybe has like a cult following behind this game, or maybe it is a little bit higher up in the ranks right now, but just to kind of find that balance of all those factors.
I will say this. Unfortunately, I don't watch streams very often, and I have watched yours a few times, Vic. Matter of fact, last weekend we got on the TV and popped on your stream of the hacker game, and I was absolutely rolling. Absolutely. Your reactions, and John totally not trolling you with spoopy incidents. He totally didn't do that. Not at all. That totally did not happen. I promise. Fingers crossed. That had to have been, I feel like for you, and I think this goes for both of you. I think I see you guys light up the most when you get that almost immediate interaction. Like, that's your forte. That immediate interaction is when you guys are at your peak.
I can't chase trends worth a fuck. I have tried. It doesn't. I'm just a moron about it because, like, if someone else is doing it, then I don't understand why. I get no joy out of doing it as well because it's what everyone's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that creates a bit of a problem when trying to get popularity. But it's also weird to say because it comes down to this. If it's horror or occult related, chances are I'm gonna like that because that's what I like in my day to day. Like the movies that I would pick for the old Count Jackula show were not movies I would not watch otherwise. Though most of those are movies I've watched a million times. You know,
I mean, House of a Thousand Corpses. Let's talk about this movie before I put my dick in it.
Oh, dude, no, I love Rob Zombie flicks. There are a lot of people who judge Rob Zombie based on his Halloween movies. That is 100% wrong.
Yeah, no,
if
those
your
were
opinion
passion
of Rob
projects.
Zombie is negative for everything that because of what he did with Halloween, you're wrong. Because what you got to realize about those movies are those are not the movies that he wanted to make. And he has said so.
Yeah, especially Halloween 2.
Halloween 2. Well,
yeah.
The way he put that was he didn't want to make Halloween 2 at all. He wanted to make his post-apocalyptic biker flick Tyrannosaurus Rex. which
sounds awesome.
Yeah, I know. It's about a guy with a motorcycle. Like this was essentially this was kind of the pitch. It's like post-apocalyptic, one man, his buddy, and his motorcycle. The motorcycle is Tyrannosaurus Rex because that's what he also named his dick. And I'm like,
I'm sold.
Done.
I'm sold.
Done. I want to watch this movie right now. This is going to be amazing. This is going to be the Werewolf Women of the SS movie that we never got.
Unfortunately, god damn, that one's stuck in development hell.
Dude, I would watch that one. I would watch in a heartbeat.
Oh, that reminds me, Vic. What's one of your favorite horror films?
Oh, jeez.
No judgments.
I'm very curious about this answer.
No judgments.
Carry on your conversation. I'll think about it.
All right.
I will say this. If one of us ever wins the lottery, John, we're buying them both plane tickets to come here, and we're all going to sit down and record an episode of the four of us watching the most grotesque, terrible, B-gooder horror film ever, just solely for their reactions.
I had to think. It came to me. I don't watch a lot of like horror-esque stuff really anymore. Maybe you know. I guess it depends. I have very weird boundaries around this stuff because I can get really horrible nightmares and I want to sleep, not to wake up panicking.
Hence, welcome to the game being like a one-off.
But it wasn't too bad. Maybe in my old age things are changing. I don't know. Maybe I can revisit these things again. However.
As I've gotten older, I've just gotten more extreme.
Same.
The Cube series. I love Cube.
Oh,
Vic, I think you just earned some points
so
with me
great.
and Jack.
I love it.
Yeah, Cube. I feel that series peaked at 2. I thought Cube Square was probably the best of that series. But yeah, no, I know it. I see what you're saying. It's bizarre because it's a great little contained movie. They're great little contained movies. And one of the things I like about Cube so much, particularly those first 2, it takes you a minute to realize what's going on filmmaking wise, but you go, wait a minute. This is a movie all set in a single set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only one cube room that they've got that they're constantly redressing. You know, and it never feels
Mhm.
small. I have seen some, like a great example of a movie that has a wider open space but feels a lot smaller. It's not a horror movie though. Do the Right Thing.
Yeah.
It feels like a stage production, which is not a criticism.
No.
You know,
It feels like a Spike Lee play.
yeah, exactly. Because I'm pretty sure it was. But Cube, which is literally them just moving out of one set only to walk back into the set from another direction. Like, you get the feeling that this complex is fucking gigantic, where literally that room that you see is like everything.
Yeah, and the acting in that movie.
Oh, it was super
especially-
good. The first
especially
two are amazing.
Yeah, third one. It's
Yeah, Hypercube is not my favorite of the bunch, you know?
But Vic, you're also a fan of like B movies too. Like I know we've talked about like Tromeo and Juliet and shit like that. Because
Love that
yeah.
movie.
well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of how me and Jack like bonded.
Aww.
But
Color us all a
Trauma,
surprise.
Of course.
of course, Trauma is the stamp of quality. All right.
Oh,
When
yeah.
you see, when you see that opening title card, you know you're in for a good ride.
Oh, yeah. And they haven't changed that thing for like 40 years.
They don't need to. Lloyd Kaufman knows how to save a buck. He learned from Roger Corman how not to
dude.
spend money.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, if somehow Trauma did a fucking $100 million movie, I would still want that Trauma opening. Like, don't ever change that.
Because it's like a warm blanket you get to wrap yourself up in.
Yeah. Yeah.
But see, this is the thing that I was talking about, like what brings us together. Because I feel like Vic, you are that kind of like person that watches the weird artsy films or the weird like B movie stuff to get a good laugh. Like me and Jack watch gory B movie horror films because we giggle when someone's intestines gets ripped out. Maybe that says more about us than anything. like you live in the land of wolf cop.
Fun,
yeah.
man.
It is. It's good for the family.
Especially when they get ripped out by T-Rex claws. Just saying.
True. Tammy and the T-Rex. That's a must-watch for anybody. By the way, you can listen to that episode of me and me, Chris, and Jack riffing that film. It's wonderful. Jack was trash during the entire thing, so have fun with it.
And it made it so much better.
But yeah, like I feel like y'all's content, while somewhat separated, I feel like you two could easily get along with each other, and I feel like that would be a wonderful moment. Like I would love to see Vic show up on the Count Jackula stream and just Jack and Vic talk for like an hour.
Really show, like, hi, I'm here to talk about my cats. Hi. Let's talk about nature.
Do you know how many things in nature can kill you? This is very important. You need to know these things.
Like, yeah, but everything
And
is
these
beautiful.
These things that, especially when you're wasted. Like, look at this. You eat this, you chew it up, all of a sudden, you're going to see Jesus.
Everything has its purpose, even if it's to kill you.
And Jack's heart grew 3 sizes that day.
Right? Like, I can almost feel his warm smile go, oh my God, this is beautiful.
But like, honestly, I would love to see that interaction on a live stream, between you two, because it would be like the yin yang ball. It's, the dark side and the light side, but with each a little bit of dip in both. Because I mean, that's kind of what the world is. It's not so much like I'm only on this side and that's the only thing I believe and the other side's full of shit. And I think that's the number one problem, especially on the internet now. It's where people have drawn battle lines and they don't want to reach over and say, hey, I understand. Now, granted, me and Jack have talked about the Nazis do not count because they're not human.
Nazis
Well, when you
never
make
count.
a choice, when you make a choice to espouse and embody an ideology based off of separation and hate, where the elimination of one group, a large group, over something that they have no control over is a possibility at the forefront of your mind. You can be judged for that. You can be judged quite harshly because that's a decision. That's a choice.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know how to say it other than, like, am I the only one who saw Jojo Rabbit? Like, that kind of shit is a choice.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, two of the greatest movies about, you know, Nazis and, like, what's going on there are Jojo Rabbit and Apt Pupil.
Oh, God, Apt Pupil.
You know,
that's one you need to watch, Chris. You would love it.
Yeah, Apt Pupil. That one's really super. That one's super fucking dark because it's you're watching a psychopathic kid get even worse. And when you watch it today, you'll be like, oh my God, he's just like every internet troll that became one of these, like, quote unquote, skeptic commentators. That's what he is. That's who that is in the modern era. You know, we're not talking about like, well, I don't believe in God, or like, well, let's put this to the scientific method. We're talking about people who use that shield, the shield of science, to make their fucking bullshit arguments sound reasonable, but they're not.
Right.
You know,
because I would say that both you and Vic don't just hate someone because of who they are, right?
Yeah.
Oh, for who? Whoa! For who they are?
Yeah,
or the
not for what they believe.
circumstances of their birth.
No, like not for what they believe, but for just being a human.
Wait, what?
Okay.
I think you lost him.
I think I did. Okay. You wouldn't say that you wouldn't immediately hate someone until they give you a reason to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, generally that's the case.
And
sometimes that can be really quick, though, unfortunately.
True. Because
people as a general rule suck, so...
I disagree with you on that,
just
but, you know. Exactly. See, that's the wholesome side that I got from Vic. That's what saved me from being a bitter asshole.
That makes up who we are and our experiences. It's just, we're products of our environment.
Yeah.
We're products of our mental health. We're products of everything. Like, we're complicated webs.
Yeah, I think my personal feeling on that is people as a general rule don't suck, but as a general rule these days, there are enough people that suck that it feels like all people and life itself sucks.
But is it that more?
Yeah.
Do more exist, or is it that we just have more because of our connectivity with the internet? We're just seeing more. We're being exposed to way more people than we ever have been before.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure, but the problem is because we are in the world that we are. I'm not sure there's a difference. I don't know if there's a practical difference. Like for example, the anti-mask crowd during this whole outbreak is really disheartening. You know, it's really disheartening because it has such a foothold in the modern consciousness right now, in the zeitgeist, and I can't believe it because it seems like such a brain dead thing to be doing.
Yeah.
You know, not
reach, brother.
Yeah, not wearing a mask during this whole thing. And everyone's like, well, we got a reopening. And I'm like, but if you had worn a mask back in February and March, we could have been there. Like, I don't like this. I mean, I know what it is, which is it's people wanting what they think they are supposed to have, but not wanting to have to have any responsibility for it. You know,
Right.
and that it sounds weird to say that wearing a mask during a pandemic is a responsibility, because some people are going to see it as, oh, it's tyranny. And other people are like, yeah, what? That's what you do. You know, that's because the bar for the responsibility of doing this stuff is actually really low.
Yeah.
Isn't that sad?
Yeah, it is sad. And it's very, very, very infuriating. You know, which is why I am kind of on the Team Satan side, because there's a part of me that is like that, you know, and I'm sure it comes from that, you know, Christian upbringing where I'm like, no, there's got to be justice. There's got to be a reckoning of some sort, you know, even if that's just harsh language.
Right, because, you know, that's the justice that Jack dispenses.
Yeah.
And I think Vic would agree with you on that. Like, wear your goddamn mask. It's not that.
Yeah, wear your mask. Like, for the sake of your grandmother, for the sake of your children, I am not looking forward to September.
Wearing your mask is. You need to be okay with it, because you need to be okay with protecting everyone around you. Like, I think that's that feels lost on some people. It's like you're wearing it for the benefit of everyone, not for yourself. You're wearing it for the benefit of everyone around you.
Mm-hmm. You would think that's how people would react. Unfortunately, people have a tendency
absolutely.
to be selfish.
I get that, and I appreciate that. I understand that that's what's happening. It's just it just blows my mind that it's just such a wall up of like, I don't want to wear it. Well, what about it? Okay, fine. All right. I guess everyone doesn't exist, and they don't matter. And
what's also really weird, because like one of the things about Florida in particular that freaks me out is,
besides Florida in general.
Yeah. But, well, I mean, you know, give or take.
We're used to that. We're Americans.
Yeah. But what the biggest problem I have with who in fucking Florida doesn't know how to wear an N95? Are you fucking kidding me?
Did we not have hurricanes and shit happen? Like,
yeah, exactly. I'm like, y'all have them. You all wear them on a regular. Most of you wear them for work. You know, like it's just don't take it off till you get inside at home. You know, it's already there.
You don't have to wear them while watching TV at your house.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but if you go down to the 7-Eleven, maybe put it on, you know? Like,
right. I'm kind of curious about this, because when we were trying to set up this call last week, we had a good little 10-15 minute conversation with Vic where we talked about all this. So we know that obviously Canada's faring much better than us, objectively speaking. So I'm wondering, you've looked down both figuratively and literally on America for the past few months. We can't blame you for that. But you've been looking down on America for the last couple months. This time I'm meaning like literally looking south.
Here, not looking down on you.
It's okay. We understand if you look down on us.
We wouldn't be offended. But you've been watching what's been going on from your northern position, we will say. So I'm curious, is the mask debate up there as much of an issue as you see it happening down here in the States?
It doesn't feel that way.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah, I am obviously also coming to this conversation from a very different perspective of the way things were handled here, the way things are going here. We have mandatory mask mandates everywhere if you're going out into a public space, because we finally reopened in the last few weeks, and you know,
shit, Jack's like, good for you.
I know, I'm sorry.
I would love it. I would love it.
Yeah, so it's been a slow process to reopening. We've had stages, so we finally went into stage 3 just in July. With stage 3 coming, we have mandatory mask rules if you're going out into a public space. And everybody's like, there's signs everywhere, which I imagine is the same where you are. Signs up everywhere, like you can't come in if you don't have face covering. Blah 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 blah.
Not as many places as you would hope.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. That's pretty much everywhere here is like, There's signs up everywhere. And
There's
some
a
places are nice. They
guy
have like
in my
masks out if you don't have one. So you can grab one.
Wait, for free?
Yes.
Oh
yes,
my God.
Yes, Chris. There's this thing called social care that they have in America and Canada that we don't have here.
Yeah.
That
we
we don't
had to
have.
run
Yeah.
into PetSmart yesterday, and right in the vestibule there was a little like sanitation station. So there was hand sanitizer and like, oh, don't have a mask, and there was just a box of masks and stuff there, and yeah.
Yeah, the problem in America is that the people who don't have masks are at this point the ones who refuse to wear them.
Yeah.
There is a guy in my neighborhood. He walks his dog every day. Everyone else is wearing a mask but this guy. Every fucking day. And I'm sitting there and I'm going like, every corner store has a little pile of masks. Like at the beginning of this, they all had a little pile of masks that you could like you put on because they had that one. They all had like at least like one box. Like, yeah, please wear this mask now. Come in and buy stuff like that kind of jazz. But they've stopped doing that because they know now that if you're concerned about the virus, you're going to come in with a mask. And if you don't have one, just get the fuck out.
Oh, God, I wish I could fucking do that.
You know?
Oh. Like, I wish I could just tell a customer, like, hey, where's your mask? And they'll be like, oh, well, I can't breathe because I have asthma and stuff. I'm like, then you especially need to wear a mask. Yeah. Like,
you know, I have allergy-related asthma. You know, fuck off. You know, I have allergy-related asthma, and I could still go outside and walk.
Right.
Okay? Like if you can do, the mask does nothing. Is it uncomfortable? Yes. And have I become a little too intimate with the quality of disposable masks? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm way too intimate. Like, it's one of those, like, no, don't buy those. Why? Because they fall off after 10 minutes. Or you can't talk while you're wearing them because they slip off. Fuck that shit. No, you buy this brand.
Hi, I'm Count Jackula here, and I'm here to talk about my personal brand of mask.
I'm Count Jackula, and this is my favorite mask on the Citadel.
Yeah. Dude, if I could,
shit.
dude, no. I gotta be, one of the things I like about being a horror fan is you are allowed to, there is a certain amount of disaster emotional preparedness that you've tempered within yourself because you're constantly watching people like get like, you know, killed by chainsaws and axes, you know, and every horror fan always does this, which is you're like, nah, I shouldn't, no. Go for the baseball bat. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, why did you go for the shotgun? That's stupid. You only got like, it takes forever to reload. It's the first time you're holding the gun. Bad choice. No. Just get the shovel, pick it up, whack guy over the head with it. That's that. There you go. That's how you do. So
every horror fan has their zombie apocalypse plan. Like,
oh yeah, abso-fucking-lutely. So when this all started, I was like, okay, it's time to get my purge look on. You know, so I would just like wander around and just be like, yeah, man, don't fuck with me or I'll purge you. You know, so I took to wearing the mask very, very quickly. You know, like that fucking day, and I was in San Francisco, which was one of the first cities to shut down. You know, they did that on a dime. It was just one day. It was like I was just sitting at the desk one day early in the morning, and Horror Guru was like, "By the way, the alert just came down. They're going to shut the city down." And I was like, "Oh shit, we're at that point." He's like, "Yep." Oh man, that feels like forever.
In the before times, you know?
Yeah, the before times of the long ago.
And the other thing is, like, now you have so many options. I didn't expect this episode to go this way, but we have so many options now that, so many options to go accessorize your mask. I mean, I've seen people with masks, and I'm like, holy shit, that looks really cool. I've got a couple of masks of my own that I love wearing, that I have personalized, that I bought from like independent wrestlers. That's, it's literally just a smile on the face, a smile on the mask.
Oh,
it looks amazing. Yes, Danhausen. Very nice, very evil.
Yeah.
But you can still be an individual wearing a fucking mask. So what is your problem? Is it just because you don't want to wear it because somebody told you to? Your rugged individualism has made you so dead inside that you can't do what's good, not just for you, but for your family. It blows my mind. I don't get why in this country, and it's really not just this country, there's other countries that have this problem too, but it's specifically in this country, why the mask debate has become so fucking political. I mean, like, and it may be just because I'm a nurse's son, so whenever some weird sickness comes out, I get the heads up like a month before it really hits the fan.
Yeah, ditto.
Like I'll get a text from my mom like, hey, funny enough, this is how me and my mom, excuse me, this is how me and my mom kind of, or how close we are. She'll be like, hey, when you buy weed, just be careful. There might be some fentanyl in it. Don't buy from people you don't know. And I'm like, okay, Mom, thanks. And she's like, if you need to connect, call me. I'll hook you up with someone. That's love right there. I don't care what anyone else says. That's love.
It's fucking beautiful, man.
Like if you can have that conversation with your parents, don't waste it. But, I don't get it. And there's a part of me that wants to be really angry about it. And there's also the part of me that feels really sad. And I kind of going back to Vic and Jack, that's kind of the two sides of me where it's like, I'm so pissed off because people have no empathy, but I want them to have empathy so bad. Like, cause I have it. Like, I have so much empathy for other people, and it just hurts me to see people willfully ignorant of what's going on in the outside world, because they just don't get it, or they just don't care. The ego is the killer, my man.
Yeah, it definitely is. And one of the things that's so so pernicious is that we, as well as being masters of our environment, we also mirror it.
Yeah.
And whatever you surround yourself with basically that's you mirroring your reflection back upon yourself. And some people do not surround themselves with the real them in their life. They're instead doing something like watching Fox News all the time. And so they reflect that.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because it's both ignorance and laziness.
Yeah, that one too. That's a big part of it.
I think another portion of it, and I had to explain this to my boss actually earlier this week, is that for a lot of people, it's the first time that they're watching the scientific method happen in real time. Where we have an idea, we test that idea. Oh, that idea was wrong. Okay, on to the new one. That doesn't mean the first idea was incorrect. It just means it wasn't correct this time. And a lot of people don't realize that, and they're watching it happen in real time going, oh, well, they don't know what they're doing. Like, no, guys, that's how
no one knows
fucking science works.
Yeah, you don't know what you're doing until you do. That's the whole purpose of science.
Exactly.
You have to figure it out. And one of the things that bothers me is how many of the areas that are like anti-mask are also areas that talk about how important family and children are. And I'm always like, have you never observed a child learning something? It fucks up a billion fucking times until it gets it right. It doesn't even know how to see things.
Yeah, like watch a baby around a table. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, but when it gets it right, what do? You're like, yay! And it's like, oh, baby's like, yay, it was easy. But no, it actually wasn't. That baby struggled for a good 10 minutes trying to figure out hard surface, like object permanence is an issue, like they're trying really hard, but they don't mind trying really hard because that's how we're wired when we're young.
Yeah. And I wish I was living in Canada right now. Like, not just because I'd be closer to Vic, but also because I feel like, and Canada has its own problems. Like, let's not beat around the bush. I mean, they have their own racist issues. They just don't. They're not racist against black people. They're racist against the natives.
Well, I mean, racism of all kinds will exist, but
right. It's just it's part of the human condition.
Yeah, it's not quite as hard coded into the institutions.
Right.
Not quite.
That's the reason why I brought. Yeah, that's the reason why I said the native thing, because the native thing is actually hardwired.
That's where it's really
bad.
But it gets to me on a personal level, because I'm seeing my mom having to deal with this on a daily basis.
Yeah, because you're in Kentucky, right?
Tennessee, God damn it!
God damn it! I keep fucking that
up. For people who talk every day.
I know. I keep doing this thing where I keep wanting to say Tennessee, then I'm like, no, I keep getting it wrong, so I switch the answer.
Kentucky always will be and forever shall be incorrect.
Okay.
All things.
All right.
I'm not a hillbilly. I'm a redneck. Get it right.
Okay, so you're in Tennessee.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're in Tennessee, and things are the hospital situation there is getting really bad.
Everything's bad.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Matter of fact, our state just announced the other day that they're not going to announce the case numbers from the schools when they reopen. The schools have the option to, but they're not requiring them to report case numbers from the schools when they reopen. Yeah, that's a thing.
Vic, cool. Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Cool.
Oh my God.
So Vic, want to move to the States? Good answer.
She's like, it's nice up here. I mean, occasionally it gets cold, but other than that, it's fine.
No, we have our problems too, but no, thank you.
How?
Exactly.
How?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking
I know.
How? Oh my
I know.
God. It's the worst combination of everything. The anti-mask, the anti-vax crowd. I'm just sitting there and I'm like, wow, you're just okay with children dying, aren't you?
That's pretty much what it is.
Fucking level. This is fucking okay to them.
What's ironic is that the people that are okay with sending their kids back to school are also the same people who think that we should postpone the election because it's not safe to be in groups at voting and polls.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Think about that.
It's okay if kids die. I just don't want to die.
Right?
Yeah.
That must be what they're thinking, assholes.
I remember when I first noticed this behavior and all its stark horror, it was actually Littleton. Because let me put it this way. Most people were horrified at the school shooting. That didn't horrify me. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I was in the middle of it, panic,
right.
Don't get me fucking wrong. But what really horrified me was watching the adult reaction. And that adult reaction was to stand around with their thumbs up their asses.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we got to let the cops deal with this. And the cops are like, Dad.
Yeah, the cops are like, we don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, we don't want to go in. And I'm like, it's your fucking job to do that. Oh, well, should we be risking our lives? I was like, dude, we have
kids.
They're children. And second of all, if you were a soldier and you're not willing to go in and fight the enemy, then you're not a soldier.
Right.
What the shit? You have all the authority, but it's like none of the responsibility. I don't even have to fucking protect a kid. And the one time that a cop since then got involved in a school shooting, he hid.
Right.
He hid. And I'm just like, I lost all respect for police in that moment. Like, and I did not have much to begin with. But that was like, no, that's the end. You've got to be fucking kidding me. That guy should be fired today. Because
we've been saying that about a lot of cops.
Yeah, he failed to, he didn't just do something wrong. He completely failed to do his job. He failed to do his job as the job is written.
Right. Like, well, Vic, if you ever want to move to America, don't.
All right, noted.
Oh, definitely not now. I would definitely look, all I'm saying, the Canadian dollar to the US dollar exchange rate.
Oh,
it's not that bad. But it's going to get way worse on our end.
Yeah. So if you see some new friendly faces up there in Canada soon, you know why.
Hello. Welcome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If I message you, like, what's your address? Just pull out the futon. I'll be there.
I mean, I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know what you're going to say at the border, but.
I'm a refugee.
Okay.
I think is what I'm going to lead with.
Okay.
I'm a political refugee from Tennessee.
Yes, I request political asylum.
Yeah. Well, that's the other upsetting thing that I don't think enough people in America are really fucking paying attention to. It's like, we can't leave now.
Yeah.
Nope.
That the crowd that's like, you love it or leave it. Well, now we can't leave it.
Now
so
I can't
what the
leave
fuck
it.
what the fuck do we do?
Where do I escape? Where do I escape to? There's nowhere to go.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Can't leave. It's not your fault.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's definitely not your fault.
I
No, your government pulled the smart choice and went, we
he was like,
don't
I'm sorry.
want
And I had like,
you
I
right now.
Keep that border closed. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I don't blame you.
Nope.
None of us can blame you.
We kind of went on a little bit of a doom run there. So, Vic, can you say something to bring us out? And then we'll start wrapping up. What would you say? Well, just
please say something to bring us out of this doom story.
just be you. That's all we need.
You're all going to die one day. There is no point avoiding it. It's just going to happen.
Nothing matters.
Jack.
Die.
Jack, we know what you think. we need some positivity. So what would you say to give people like a little bit of hope right now?
That in itself is difficult because everybody is encouraged by something individual to them. I feel like my backup. It's like, drink your water, eat your vegetables.
And that is Guiltless Gaming in a nutshell.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Ride your bikes.
Jack, what would you say?
Remember, your life is yours to use. This period of time is no real different than any other major time of plague, except some people haven't gotten the memo that it's the 21st century. But that doesn't have to be you. You know what's smart. Wear your mask, wash your hands, don't touch your face. It's all very simple. And if you're worried about the future, don't be. Because nobody knows what that future is going to be. So you might as well do the thing that you have been wanting to do that you haven't been. We're not going to be able to, when you're in times of hardship, you create your way out of it. We're not going to do that sitting on our asses with our thumbs up our bungs, doing nothing. Everyone's got a short story or that novella or that game or that art piece that they have wanted to do but have been afraid to start. you don't have any excuses. Turn off the news and get to work, because that work's really important. We denigrate the importance of the arts, but when it comes right down to it, that's the main thing that we have. Our desire and ability to create things. It's the true thing that makes us unique. It's not the ability to count. It's not the ability, even really the ability to write, but the ability to actually create things that can delight other humans and even some animals is something that is uniquely human. Use that and don't give it up. It's going to get you through this like nothing else will.
Wow. I'm very inspired. Thank you for that, Jack.
Oh,
and for the 0.0001% of you that didn't work on, if you need more inspiration, you know what you can do? You can go to twitch.tv/guiltlessgaming or twitch.tv/Captain Jack. Count Jack.
Wow, Captain Jack.
Count Jackula. Wow, you got that wrong twice.
Yeah, I know. That's the second time I've done that. Jesus Christ. But if you need more inspiration or you need more feel-good moments, you can always go visit them on their various Twitch channels. Or even if you just need a break from real life and you want to watch somebody awesome, these are the people that you should be checking out.
Hey, there's always a light in the dark.
Absolutely.
That's right. Even in the dark. Thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate that. We finally got this episode recorded. We'll start with the shilling with Vic. Tell people about your channel, tell people about who you are, and then we'll go to Jack, and then we'll wrap up here.
Well, I'm the girl on the bike, so you can find me on Twitch Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It's Guiltless Gaming over on Twitch, or Gaming Guiltless on Twitter and Instagram. We have a really lovely community of people who love to just kind of hang out, have a good time, support each other. We'd love to see you pop by. And I just like to act like a doofus. So if I can put a smile on your face, come on by. Come hang out with us.
More cookies on your
my face always.
And now, Jack.
Y'all know me. You can find me on twitch.tv/count_Jackula.
Chris.
You got that, Chris?
You got that. Count, not
that?
Captain. Yes,
Count.
yes, sir. Yes, sir, Captain.
Yes.
I mean, count. God damn it. No. Count, everybody. Count.
Three times you get it wrong. You can also follow me on Twitter on my new Twitter account, Baphomet Jack, BAPHOMET Jack, because I lost the other one because I got into fights with Nazis. Now, if you think that my Nazi fighting days on Twitter are over because I've been slapped on the wrist, you got another thing goddamn coming. It's still fucking me on that thing. So follow me at Baphomet Jack. And punch a baby Nazi for Satan. Come on. Not that hard. You can do it. They've all got that little mustache. Very easy to identify. Kids with them Hitler mustaches run all over the place. Fuck you. Test tube, baby.
And on that bombshell, I'm John the Joker.
I have been Chris the Metal Barrett, and this has been an episode.
That's one way to put it.
Another way to describe it. This has been an episode. We're glad we got it done. We're glad you guys were able to join us together. This is something we've been wanting to do for a while. So thank you, both of you. We will obviously have you back on respective episodes again in the future. And to all of you listening, we will see you on the next one.
Thank you.
All right, good. Yeah, thank you. It was great.
It was nice to chat again.
Whew. Episode 30, finally in the bag. And as promised, featuring none other than Count, not Captain, Count Jackula and Guiltless Gaming, a.k.a. Vic. We are so glad that the two of them were able to join us for this episode. It was just as much fun as I thought it would be. And it looks like we might get some more content out of the two of them. Who knows? If you guys are listening to this on release day, then you're listening to it a grand total of 3 days after we recorded it. As we mentioned, there were some scheduling issues with this one. So because of that, we kind of skipped ahead in the recording process. So this is episode 30. And as of right now, the day before it gets released, we've got all the way up to episode 34 ready for you. So for the first time, I can actually give you a little sneak peek of what's to come. Next week, you're going to hear the second part of the D&D stream that started with episode 29. Episodes 32 and 33 are going to be intimate streams, one-on-one, one with me and then one with John. And then episode 34, you're going to hear from the man who ran the protest that John and I got to go to a few weeks back. So I hope you're looking forward to all of that. Thank you for sticking with us through 30 episodes, and here's to 30 more. And we will see you next time on the Anarchy Arena podcast.